Hello. I'm going to put this down because I'm so shaky ragey that any video that I post will be all over the shop, and let me explain why. And no, I haven't spoken to you for a while. My business and how all the things that I do is so focused on bridging the gap between families and practitioners, because I know both families and practitioners are working their asses off and they're doing their best within the constraints of their resources, their time, their skills, their energy. So I am not in any way trying to badger or label or bash either practitioners or families in this. But I think, and one of the things I talk about in my training and stuff, is that families like mine get to suffer, and I genuinely mean suffer, from the level of scrutiny and opinion and direction and instruction and just, I don't know, sometimes it feels bullying, but just being told what to do by so many different people. And I know those people are trying to do what's best, and I know they're trying to help. But it's like being a teenager again. No, it's not. Teenagers have more independence and choice than parents of disabled children do. It's like being a 5-year-old again. Because we're being told how to sit, and we're being told how to lie, and you're being told how to feed. Okay, I'm going to make this short, so I'm going to tell you what the issue is. I want to give my son a blended diet. He's had a PEG tube, so it's tube into his stomach, since he was 1 year old. So since that time, we have been artificially giving him food that is prepared in a laboratory. We know how to make sure that we give that food in a way into his stomach and doesn't cause infection, that the hole in his stomach isn't infected, that it's not painful, that we make sure that the milk is prepared in a way that doesn't cause infection, all that kind of stuff. And we've done that for the last 15 years. All right. And recently his reflux has been really bad. It's always been bad, but it's been really bad the last 12 to 16, 18 months. And as a result, I've been talking about getting him onto a blended diet, and I've been getting advice and stuff about that. And in order to give my son normal food, the food that the rest of us are having, in order for me to blend up a vegetarian lentil cottage pie and give it to him via his tube, which obviously I know how to use and know how to deliver milk through because I've been doing it for 15 years and everyone's trusted me to do it for 15 years. I have been notified by the dietitian today that in order to provide my son with this kind of normal way of eating for someone, we're just talking about weaning, but instead of him swallowing it, because it's unsafe for him to swallow because food goes into his lungs, not just his stomach, not ideal. In order for me to essentially go back to the weaning stage, take the food, make sure there's enough calories, given that there's going to be less volume that I can give him, in order to make sure that he has the nutrition that is given to the rest of his brothers and sisters, just blend it up, put it through his tube, add some high calorie, highly nutritious milk that's pre-made to ensure things are covered. In order to do that, not only do I have to give them a diet diary, telling them everything that I'm going to feed him, but I have to do an online food hygiene certificate, and I have to have paperwork signed by a consultant and a dietitian and basically be inspected as to whether I am competent enough to feed my son. Now, on the one hand, I know why that's necessary. Actually, no, screw that. I don't know why that's necessary, because we all know children that only eat jacket potato and baked beans for 12 years. We know adults that haven't touched a vegetable in 14 years. And yet, because my child is severely disabled, because we are thrust in this environment where everybody else gets to choose what happens to us, gets to dictate and every moment of our freaking day, because dozens and dozens of professionals think they get to choose how we live, I can feed two of my son's sweets every day, and it's absolutely fine. They can be underweight, they can be overweight, they can have rotting teeth. But in order for me to try and give my son a more normalised diet, I'm going to be scrutinised and judged and given so many hurdles. My response is I want to tell him to, you know what? I'm just so tired of it. I'm just so tired of being told what to do by everybody else. And what I want to say is, screw you. You tell me what your weekly shop is. You tell me what you ate at, what takeaways you had in the last 4 weeks. And then I'll tell you. And until then, wind your neck in. But if I go and say, do you know what, I'm just going to do this, and I'm not going to get your opinion, I'm not going to go do your food hygiene, and I'm not going to do all these things, I suddenly become the problem parent. I become the top, there's potential for people to start talking about safeguarding and all sorts of things, because I want to give my son a more normalised diet. What the actual, how has it got to this? How has it got to this? Where everybody else's opinion dictates what's acceptable or not in my home and in my family. There's got to be a better way. Before I start crying lots, I'm going to go, there's got to be a better way.